Hi everybody, this is Diane. I have to clear my desk. I've been cleaning. I got my room vacuumed and most everything is put away. I have my supplies organized pretty much for the next journals. And I did a little thinking about the covers, so I can talk to you about that. But I also have little collections of things that have been accumulating. And I'm sorting and putting away, and I thought, well, I think I need to make something with some of these pieces instead of just setting them aside and saying I'm going to make something with those someday. In between projects is a perfect time. So let me just share a little bit about the upcoming project, and then I'll put those things aside and get them out of my way. This is my collection, some of my collection of music stuff. I have little pieces in there. And in here, these are not music themed pieces. They are additional things. And these are all musical pieces. But I will use some of these in the journals too. And my flashcards and larger pieces in here. Again, music over here and non-music over here, but can be used in the journals. And back here is bigger pieces. So I'm going to just put that out of my way right now. And about the covers, I remembered that I have some of these frames that came from an album. And I got rid of a lot of them, but I kept a few. They're pretty big. So I decided, and I worked on this a little bit yesterday, I cut them down. And I think they would look lovely with these digital pieces. And I can't remember, I can't remember the name of the shop, but I will link it below. I've used this kit before, so I printed some of the pages, not all of them. And I like this one in a frame, and I have an oval frame. And I like this one in a frame. So this one is rectangle but arched. And I like this one, violinist. I like how she's pointing at her music with her bow. Oh, she's a cellist, sorry. Yeah, so I don't know which. I think I'm gonna make two. So I just need to select two of those pages and I'll use those two frames. But what am I going to attach those frames to? They would fit on this book, and I was thinking about using this book cover, but that's only one. But I was also thinking about taking some chipboard and wrapping the chipboard with fabric or even paper, pretty paper, and that way I could cut it to the size I want, and I would have two the same size. So I'm thinking that's the way I'll go. So that's how far I've got with that process, just thinking and cutting frames. So I'm going to move all of my music things that are here. These are the vintage ads, and if you recall, if you watched yesterday's video, you saw things that I made with those. Some of those pieces. I don't even know if I uploaded that yet. As I make, here's the pieces that I glued down and I cut them out last night. So these will be pockets. This will be a tuck spot. That's the keyboard, piano keyboard, and then this is the where the inside is of the grand piano, with all the strings and the hammers that hit the strings and everything. So I love these as pockets. And I think that's all the music stuff I need to move out of my way. So what I'm left with is all of this stuff that's just been, for one reason or another, I had it, and I've been going through things and organizing things, and then I take things out of where they are thinking they don't belong there, and then I have to find another place to put them, or whatever the reason is, I have all this stuff here. So I started sorting it, and then I thought, I'll turn on the camera, we'll finish sorting, and then we'll actually make something. This is just a little scrap of a vintage shelf liner paper, the shelf edger. and I love that plaid, so I don't want to get rid of that piece. I'm going to keep that out so I can make something with it today. This little whisk broom, that should be in my Homemakers journal collection of stuff. This goes with my farm stuff. So anything that goes in a specific collection, I just take these and put them in the closet in the other room, because that's where my collections are. And then when I get a chance, I will sort them into their collections. This can go in my binder, my ephemera binder. This is going to be used in the music journals. So I had all of these pieces that were cut, and I was going to use them to make things, and they're just, I don't know, I don't even remember what I took them out of, some pouch or envelope. So these are all book pages that were cut with Big Shot dies, and then this was cut with a Big Shot die, and then these little shapes. So maybe I'll use some of these pieces today. These also. And I have a couple of these. I don't know if I still have the die. I don't think I still have the dies for these. This is a puzzle piece that I found on the sidewalk when I went for a walk one day, and it had been raining. So the puzzle piece, the design picture on it washed off. So this is all I found. And I thought that would be really fun to just paint and use in a journal. I got just a couple little stamped pieces here. This is a stamped piece. Maybe I'll try to use that today. This little piece of file folder, I have to stamp something on it just because I like this little thing there. I think it'll be fun to stamp on. These are edges from photo album pages, a vintage from the 70s photo album, and they're the decal edge. So I want to make something with them. This is a bridge tally card, several of them, I guess, that weren't decorative. And so I've done it before where I decorated the front. So I'm gonna try to do these today because that should be quick. And then these Victorian calling cards that the decorative piece came off. You can see the wrist there where there was a hand covering the name, and there too. So I'm going to use them and make something with them. This is torn on one edge, but it still has the picture on it. I think I'm going to leave that as it is. Just put it with my cards. So these all need something on them. This is a collection of images that I had selected to make this envelope, and I never did it. So maybe we can do that today too. These are just plain envelopes. Feels like there's something other than envelope in here. I guess not. Nope, they're all envelopes. This is a little pile of images that I cut from greeting cards, vintage greeting cards. So I would like to use them, and I have this tag that wasn't quite complete. It could be used just like that. But maybe I'll put that on here. So I'm going to put these in the pile I want to do today. This is just something I stamped. I believe it's supposed to be a button card, but I want to put something in the middle of that. This is a digital. I think I'll just put this in my binder, and I'll do something with it when I know what journal it's going in. Here's another of the die cut Rolodex cards, and it's already stamped on. I don't think I need to do anything to that. So that can go in my stash of stuff that's done. Here's a couple more die cut shapes. I think this one's actually a digital. And some larger die cut shapes. Now this was a die cut, and I need to see if these little bits will poke out. If not, I'm just going to throw it away. They're poking out quite nicely, very easily, so I can put this in my binder. It's ready to use. This is just a little piece that I cut from an older Stampin' Up! Catalog for an idea. One of these I wanted to try to make, or both of them. So I'll put that with my idea folders. That's just a scrap of paper that got sprayed, and I think I was, oh, it's cardstock. So that's a background piece I can use. I don't need that. I just love the color blue on this, so I'm going to stamp on that. Guess I'll put that there. Some more ideas that I just doodled on my paper. Things to make with scraps. And some more ideas that I took from magazines. So they'll go back in my idea folders. This is from a master board, and I can stamp on that. A postcard, and this came from a book, and I love that image, so I'll make something with that. Just a scrap of cardstock. Scraps of patterned paper, and these go with my music stuff. And then all I have left are my papers that I do my work on. So this is what I have here. Oh, I have this word that came out of a children's book. What can you do? And these little scraps of digitals, so I might be able to use them in today's projects. I have my little containers of tiny fabrics and tiny lace, and my small layer paper basket here. I'm going to put this postcard away. Okay, I don't think we'll do the puzzle piece today. I didn't get any paint out. I have this little piece of acetate, and I have this stamped piece. Oh, and I have these little, it's a digital, it's just words and label-y things. And I'll put them in my placemat ephemera holder that has digital ephemera, but I'm going to leave it out right now so I can possibly use some of it. There's a die cut and another little die cut. This one didn't have enough space to cut it out right. Oh, these are Cricut cuts, actually. But I might be able to use part of it. So what shall we start with? I think I'll start with this. I think this will be the quickest thing. I'm going to trim this a little bit better, and I will not talk while I trim so that I can forward through it. Okay, I've trimmed that better, but I think the background of this needs something, and you know I like to use my background stamps to provide a little interest and texture to a plain background. So I'm going to grab a stamp this time. I should have stamped before I added that, so I'm going to have to cover this with something. So I think I can see through it, and I'm going to just trace around that shape. I can kind of feel, because it's a paper glued on, so it is raised a tiny bit. So that's the shape of it. And it might cause a problem to stamp all the way up here because that is raised, even though it's just the thickness of a scrapbook paper. it would be enough to prevent the stamp from pressing down into that right at the edge there. We'll see how it looks. Okay, let's choose a color before I cover it all up. I guess I could have that overlapping up there a little bit. Or I could cut off some of the stems. I'll decide after I stamp it. And I think I'll use a light green for stamping. Just enough to add a little interest back there. It doesn't need to be in your face. Sorry if that's shaking. So it didn't cover even half an inch down. I think it's okay. Helps just to add a little of the green in there. I had already inked around the edge with my vintage photo. And then maybe I can add a word to it. I love using pieces from vintage greeting cards if the card got damaged somehow, or even if I just really like the image and want to cut it out. Usually I like to keep the greeting cards intact. I have quite a few vintage greeting cards left, and you know, I sold a lot of them because I bought 3 scrapbooks full of them and I already had some, but now I feel like I sold too many. But I probably didn't. I had to pay quite a bit for the scrapbooks, so I needed to get my money back. I got more than my money back, just so you know. So if I find more greeting cards at flea markets, I will buy them if I like them and they're a good price. Might as well complete it with some seam binding. And I think I'll go with the pink for that. I have my ephemera binder on the floor next to my feet and it tipped over and was in my way. This has the slot, so I'm not sure how I'm going to tie this. I cut this long because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Maybe I'll just tie a little string around that. That looks cute. So that can go in my completed tags. So I thought I would do these bridge tally cards. So you can write on here, but that's just scoring rules there. I'm going to get my digital things that digital cards, and find some little ones maybe that will work on these. I could use that if I trim it a little bit. Oh, there's two of them there. Put it on my shelf without shaking the camera. But I shook it a little bit, didn't I? But I still want to cover the back, so this one I don't need to cover the back. I'm going to just put a piece of scrapbook paper, one out of this scrap basket that I have here. I'll look for something on the thinner side. Just plain dyed paper. These are all heavy. That's skinny. Lightweight, I should say. If that was wider, that'd be great. Oh, it opens out. That's wrapping paper. I'll pick a few and then I'll decide which one works best color-wise. Another wrapping paper. Digital paper. Time to take this jacket off. It's supposed to get pretty warm today, 60s. Yesterday it was chilly. Oh, speaking of yesterday, it was eclipse day. I'm recording this on Tuesday. And, oh, it was a letdown because it was completely cloud covered when it was time for the eclipse. I went to pick Adam up and I could see the sun through the clouds just before I left to pick him up. But by the time I was driving over to get him, I couldn't see the sun at all. And we couldn't even see any light from the sun. So we couldn't tell where the sun was behind the clouds. I have an app on my phone that I just got. My son-in-law recommended it. I love this really pale wrapping paper. It shows, if I point it at the sky, it shows me where the sun is and where all the planets and big stars and constellations are. Star map or something. I don't remember the name of the app. But so I had to use that to find out where the sun was. So I told Adam that's where the sun is, but we couldn't see any light from it at all. So we sat on the porch. We didn't need glasses at all. No special glasses. We just sat on the porch and watched as the sky got darker and darker. The clouds turned dark like it was going to storm. The birds got quiet and the crows were circling overhead. I don't know why, but I just noticed that they were. And my sister noticed that in her area too, that the crows were circling. And then it got brighter again. But one sister had the same situation, completely cloud covered. And the other sister, she lives a little further away, a little further west. And she sent us some pictures where she could actually, her clouds were wispier and thinner, and she could see the sun through the clouds. And she got some good pictures where the sun was pretty black, but it looked like a moon, like a sliver of a moon. It was really cool, and I was jealous that she got to see that, but at least she sent us pictures. Well, that's a cute card. I like that. Pretty easy. And so I'll do that. Do the same thing with this. Oh, that's just the right width. I guess it's not cut even because it's a little bit wide there, but I think that looks cute on it. I don't actually need the whole piece because, no, I was thinking, yeah, this is going here, right? Yeah, so I don't need the whole piece because this pretty much, that covers it. So I'll just have it go over the fold a little bit. So how did the eclipse look in your area? Did you get to see it? Where did I put my mark? I can't see it. Oh, it's right there. Just a little bit crooked. There is a sound outside right now. You probably can't hear it, but I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of a giant cat purring. It's kind of a pulsing, purry sound, just like a cat. Keep wanting to put the wrong one there. I tossed it aside again, didn't I? I was thinking she looked really cute on it, but I do like this with it too, so we're just going to go with it. Let me see if there's... No, I like those colors. That's good. And when I go to use them, I can add anything else I may want to. A little bit of lace or whatever I want to add. Oh, I was going to look for a word for something. So I thought something going diagonal, or not diagonal, horizontally might be a good design element there. Like the word beautiful. It's already cut. I can use it so it doesn't get lost. I'll trim off this border. There. And one more. I can just add this, and that's good enough. So this is a crafty cleanup. I'm cleaning up the pile of stuff that needs to be put away, but we're crafting while we do it. Of course, some of the stuff will have to be put away. I don't have time to make something with all of it. Now, I really want to do something with these Victorian calling cards. So I'm going to get out my digitals again so I can use some of those. And I made the camera shake again. Let's look at my little pieces. Let's do these three, they're bigger. Oops, didn't mean to throw it. Possibilities. These are all horizontal or vertical. I think most journal cards are vertical. Those would be different because they're modern looking instead, or at least retro looking. Definitely not Victorian. So that's a definite possibility. I like that. Maybe just put a little lace or cheesecloth behind it and add a button or something. Oh, this has to go. It's got something on both sides. I definitely want to cover that up. And then I could just maybe put a journaling spot on that. See how it looks if I cut that much off. Cut a little off the top and then some off the bottom. And I thought this would be fun. It's not Victorian, but it would be fun, right? And then I could add an embellishment to it. Yeah, I like that. That's cute. Now what can I add to that? Let's get out my ephemera folder binder. Upside down. She's cute. If I put another bigger circle behind her. Let's see, I think I used this one to cut her out. So I don't have a circle, except this one is really big. Because my other ones are either smaller or way too big for that. But I have an idea. I have a scallop punch, which I could try, or this flower punch. I think I'll try them both and we'll see what we like. Probably have a die, maybe. I don't know if I have dies that small, but I don't want to get all that stuff out. I think I like that better. That's a fancy lotto card. I didn't do cheesecloth and buttons on any of them. Guess I just wanted to keep them simple. Okay, so we did this pretty tag, which was partially done already. We did that. And we did another one of these, right? 2 of those. Where did I put them? Oh, I didn't glue them. I didn't glue them. We're not done yet. Hang on. Yesterday, my video ended up being like 49 minutes, and I did not have trouble uploading it. I need to put something over here. This is my flower and butterfly and bird binder. I don't have a lot of birds and butterflies because I don't use them a lot. I'd like something with a slightly different shade, but that is the perfect shape and size. I think I like the color of that one better. Now we're getting into bigger flowers. There's another one from a greeting card. So I do have some journaling stamps, so I'll find one that will fit on there and stamp it and glue it down to cover that up. And then we just have to do this one, which is going to be very, very easy. Okay, now I can show you what we accomplished today. And then I will look for the cap for my glue. So we did 1 tag. We did 3 bridge tally cards. This goes that way. That paper was just perfect for that picture, wasn't it? I just had a small piece of that paper. That looks really cute. And 3 of the Victorian calling cards. So that was a fun session. I'll probably continue on. Maybe I'll record some more for another video because I want to use up some more of this stuff. Everything else in my room is pretty much cleaned up, so I think today is just going to be a play day with what's on my desk. I'll see you in another video, and I hope that you are having a creative day. Bye-bye.